All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020, and of course, we just finished with Week 15 of the NFL. So, of course, now it's time to go to Week 16. We did all right last week, 10-6. We went with like 3 or 4 different upsets that didn't wind up happening, and of course, some crazy things like the Jets winning, and of course, the Bengals just beating the Steelers last night kind of flipped our record. We wouldn't have been at least 12-4, 2 games we didn't see. We picked like 3 upsets last week. That's all right. Week 16, we're going to be a little bit more surefire about our picks as the year goes on. For right now, we're going to just focus on, we're going to have more surefire picks. We're not going to be as like upset heavy this week. 16 games to go through, no bye weeks or anything like that. So we'll get started on our Week 16 picks. Of course, we have no more Thursday night, but we do have Friday night football. Well, Friday afternoon football. It's Christmas Day football, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The overall record is 144-79-1. 144-79-1. Let's get started. Again, Christmas Day, we have the Vikings and Saints, 6-8 versus 10-4. The Saints are 7-point favorites with an over/under of 51.5. Well, if this was the playoffs, maybe I'd go with the Vikings beating the Saints, but this feels like a very big game, prime time, big stage. So it's already a knock against the Vikings and Kirk Cousins, who typically does not play his best games in these kind of big stages. Everybody's watching. There's going to be added pressure on this game because the Vikings, I think they're out. I think actually the Vikings are out. So I don't know. I guess the Vikings really have nothing to lose except maybe like a draft position or some pride. But the Saints actually have quite a bit to lose. They can win the division this week with a win. So they're going to be playing quite hard. They're going to be playing aggressive. They're going to want their division. And I think that's going to be the big difference maker is the Saints defense is probably going to be very fired up. If you watch that game against the Chiefs, that Saints defense was ferocious. A much lesser quarterback than Mahomes would not have responded as well to the pass rush. Wouldn't have responded as well to the way that defense was playing. So I'm going to think that Kirk Cousins is going to have some issues with that defense. And I'm also thinking that the Saints, again, they're going to up the aggressiveness. They're going to up the intensity. They're going to be at home trying to clinch their division. The Vikings, they're just in a weird state, in a weird spot, in a weird state of flux of kind of rebuilding, retooling, reshaping everything. So right now I'm going to go with the Saints over the Vikings, 31-24 type score. That feels right. It's Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody, and good luck to the old Saints this week. If they win, they get their division. Let's go right to Sunday or Saturday football rather. We have 3 games on Saturday too. This game's kind of a mismatch. At 1:00 on Saturday, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks going and playing in Detroit. 9-5 versus 5-9. The Bucks are 9.5-point favorites with an over/under of 53.5. I have the Bucks winning this game. Detroit really doesn't have a good secondary nor a good defense like whatsoever. The pass rush is so, and when you play like Tom Brady and you don't have the best pass rush and your secondary is kind of garbage, that Tampa offense will be able to light them up. I think Ronald Jones or Leonard Fournette will be able to run all over the Lions. The thing is, the Lions will probably be able to stay in this game somewhat, stay in it close anyway because of the way their offense can play and the fact that the Bucs defense is kind of porous at times. I think their secondary, you can beat their secondary, and the Lions have a decent receiving situation. So the Lions probably keep it close, but the Bucs win this game like 38-28. Kind of like how the Lions kept it like weirdly close with the Titans. Kinda. It's almost a similar game, the Lions and the Bucs to the Lions and Titans. All right, at 4:30 Eastern Standard, this isn't much of a game, I don't think. The San Francisco 49ers take on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals, I think, can clinch a playoff spot with a win. I think they can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Chicago loss. So Arizona's probably really hoping they could take this W. But right now they've got the Cardinals. Arizona's 4.5-point favorites with the over/under of 48.5. Arizona's the home team in this game, even though I think 49ers been playing there as a home team. I don't know. The Cardinals have been pretty bad the 49ers have been bad the last couple weeks. I think they've lost like 5 of 6 or something like that. The injuries, the offense is playing like very inept. I might have said the wrong word there, but I don't know. The 49ers offense has just been bad. Mullins is clearly just a backup quarterback. They're not running as well as they usually do in San Francisco. Arizona kind of seems to be turning it around and putting it back together, kind of back on the right side of things. They played 2 games pretty good in a row. They need to win. Big win coming up. Our big game coming up. I don't know. I feel like the 49ers are like a really good 5-9 team, but they're not very good. I don't know. Give me the Cardinals. There's just not much to say in that one. This one's an all right game. Saturday Night Football, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard. By the way, I just didn't have much to say about the Cardinals 49ers. I just think the Cardinals are going to win. I don't think Mullins can compete in that game. If it's close, I trust the Cardinals. Unless the 49ers just outright blow the Cardinals out, the Cardinals should win that game. And now we go to the Dolphins and the Raiders. 9-5 or 7-7. The Dolphins are 2.5-point favorites with an over/under of 47.5. I'm gonna be going with the Dolphins in this one. I do think the Dolphins are just a better team. Their defense is playing really, really well. They just held the Patriots completely down. Their offense did what they could against the Patriots defense, they didn't look that great, but rookie quarterbacks tend to not do so well, and they were even able to do well and beat the Patriots. So a very rare thing. It was the first time since 2013 a rookie quarterback has beaten the Patriots and Belichick. So that's kind of a very good sign if you're a Dolphins fan. Dolphins desperately need to win. Vegas, they're pretty much well done. Just they fell out. So, and I don't know if the Raiders are gonna have a lot of their players back from injury. Like, they had a lot of guys sit out the last couple games due to random injuries, and Arnett, I think, Jonathan Abrams, I think, Cleveland Farrell, a bunch of guys are out for the Raiders right now. There's some 5 or 6 of their defensive starters. So if that's the case, I'm going to be taking the Dolphins. If they're playing a bunch of backups against a pretty decent Miami team that should have Gesicki, Parker, and Grant back, this could be a problem. And they might even get Gaskins back from COVID. You never know. So give me the Dolphins 27-17 in a pretty mismatched game, it feels like. I don't think the Raiders will have an answer for Tua and company. And I also think they destroy Mariota if he plays. So anyway, let's go to the Sunday 1 p.m. football now. We have the Carolina Panthers and Washington football team. If Washington is to win this game, they clinch the NFC East. Yeah, that's right. If they win and the Giants lose, Washington clinches. So expect them to come out ferocious. Expect their defense to lead this game. Washington is a 2.5-point favorite, over under a 44.5. I get that Carolina should have McCaffrey and everybody back, but I think this is going to be a Washington defense kind of game. They might score a touchdown or two and then depend on the rest on field goals. I'm talking their defense scores a couple touchdowns and then they score field goals the rest of the way through. Carolina will be able to put up some offense against this defense, but it's going to be tough on them. They're going to blast through that offensive line of Carolina and just cause all kinds of problems all day. So right now I'm gonna go football team over the Panthers just because of the defense the football team plays. I think it overwhelms Carolina and they get a 2016 win and it inches closer to their division title. Well, this could have been a really good game, except for now the Steelers are completely exhausted and they're getting hurt because of the exhaustion. They're an old ass team that needs a bye week. I know that other teams have been playing just as long and everything, or just about as long, but I think the average age of the Steelers is between 28 and 30 or something like that. So the advanced age of their veteran leaders, guys getting hurt, it all seems to be an exhaustion. They've been playing since week 4, so I can see why the Steelers have started to fall off. And during this fall off, this is probably one of the worst teams that you could run into when you're in a slump, is the Indianapolis Colts. Both of these teams the Steelers need to win their division, and the Colts can win a playoff spot if they win. So this is going to be a mini playoff game. This is going to have playoff intensity to it. The Colts are 1.5-point favorites with an over/under of 44.5. If the Steelers would have been able to beat the Bengals and do something and look kind of good doing it, it would be easier to want to pick the Steelers in this game. But with the way everything's going, with the way that the Colts have been playing lately, the way the Steelers have been playing lately, you have to go Colts in this game. The Colts offense has been pretty potent. Their defense has been great. The Steelers defense has been pretty good, but their offense has been goddamn atrocious. So I'm going to have to go Colts in this one unless, I mean, if the Steelers win, I'd be absolutely stunned at this point. Well, this one's easy. Atlanta Falcons and Kansas City Chiefs. If you think the Chiefs are going to lose this game, I have another thing that you're stupid. The Chiefs are 10.5-point favorites with an over-under of 53.5. A win here against the fucking Falcons. They blew another one, you guys. Can you believe that? They were up 24-7 with like 7 minutes left in that game. And then you looked at the sideline and you seen Brady with his head bowed and his hands interlaced. And I went, oh, they're done. And they lost that game, sure as shit, like 31-27. Most embarrassing team in the NFL is the Atlanta Falcons, my friends. They're an embarrassment. We're picking the Chiefs because we just don't pick Atlanta. This was the easiest just don't pick Atlanta week ever. Yeah, another hilarious game. The Chicago Bears take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't see a situation why the Jags would want to win. They just got Trevor Lawrence handed to them. The Jets decided to screw around to win a football game for no apparent reason other than they have weird pride or something. And Darnold wants to keep the Jets job. I don't know what's going on in the Jets situation, but Darnold really wants to keep that job, I guess. But here's the Jags and the Bears. I got the Bears winning because it's the Jaguars, so I don't know. Who cares? Ugh. That's what I think about that game. Ugh. Yeah, this is a game with a lot of ramifications. The Cincinnati Bengals take on the Houston Texans. The Texans are 8.5-point favorites with an over-under of 45. Take your pick. Well, this game is probably a little better than I want to give it credit for that it could be, but with like, I think the Giants aren't going to have Bradbury. Daniel Jones is still hurt. The whole Giants team seems to be like hurt. Although like their most important players seem to be dealing with injuries. And like the Ravens seem to be getting their shit together right at the right time at the end of the season. They're getting healthy. They're starting to kind of click again on offense. Lamar's playing a little bit better the last couple of weeks. The receiving's looking a little better. Guys seem to be coming back to life after all that COVID stuff. I have to go Ravens here. If the Giants were playing or still at the health that they were when they played the Seahawks or just before the Seahawks, I would probably take the Giants in like a weird upset. But this isn't... I mean, it's just Colt McCoy or broken Daniel Jones and no James Bradbury, and just this game will be closer than people think it'll be, but I got the Ravens pretty comfortably due to the Giants' health. Giants might be a problem next year, though, when everybody's healthy and good to go. I know it's funny to think that the Browns could lose to the Jets. I know it's very funny for people to think that, but the Browns are near 10-point favorites with an over-under of 46.5. They're 9.5-point favorites. Over under 46.5. I got the Browns winning huge, 35-23. There's not much to discuss with that game. I'll be very honest with you. The Jets got a fluky ass win against the Rams because they were looking right past them, and I guarantee the Browns are not going to look past the Jets for one reason. They could still win the AFC North if they keep winning, and say the craziest shit happens and the Browns win this game and the Steelers lose to the Colts, which I've predicted. 11-4 and 11-4, they go into the game for the week 17. I think it's Browns Steelers, and they play for the division. So that's about to happen. That's really about to happen. That could happen if this all goes exactly the way the Browns needed to. So don't expect the Browns to take this game lightly. Not even a little bit. All right, Sunday 4 p.m. Kind of a who cares game. The 5-9 Chargers take on the 5-9 Broncos for a pride game. Chargers are 3-point favorites with an over-under of 48.5. You've seen teams that can score on Denver this year pretty easily. And the Chargers give up points pretty easily. This could be a weird shootout type game, which then it comes down to which team do you trust more with like a shootout situation, which is what I think this is going to be. And I just trust Herbert and the Broncos a little, or Herbert and the Chargers a little more than I trust Locke and the Broncos, mainly because Herbert has way better options to get the football to than Drew Lock does at this point. So give me the Chargers 31-24, and I think I split the season series and they won. I think I gave the game to Denver in Denver. I'm giving this game to the Chargers in Los Angeles. Here's a randomly important game that shouldn't be that important, and it really isn't because the Giants are the other deciding factor in the NFC East, so who cares? The Eagles take on the Cowboys. Eagles are 1.5-point favorites with an over-under of 49.5. This is like a battle for like last place, I guess. I think the Cowboys have not done well against mobile quarterbacks this year. I think they got blown out by Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson, if I recall. And I think they've had troubles against other running quarterbacks, and Jalen Hurts, running quarterback. They've never seen him really before, limited tape. Defense hasn't been as great this year. They did give up like 30 to the they gave up like 20 some odd points, then 30 in garbage time. I'm going to go with the Eagles in this one just because it seems like the Cowboys have struggles with certain types of quarterbacks, and they got kind of beat down on by Kyler and Lamar this year. So I wonder if Jalen completes that trifecta. Give me the Eagles over the Cowboys in a who cares game. This is an interesting game now. I know, crazy, right? To pick the Rams after they just lost to the Jets, and to go against the Seahawks after the way they've been playing. Yeah, I'm going to be picking the Rams over the Seahawks. Seahawks are 1.5 point favorites, over under a 47.5. I believe the Rams have won 5 of their last 6 against the Seahawks. They would have won 6 of their last 6 if Greg Zorloin did not miss a 44-yard field goal. The Rams average 4 sacks a game against the Seahawks. I believe they had about 5 or 6 earlier in the season. The Seahawks seem to have a very bad defense this year, and it seems to get worse when they play the Rams. Even when they have a good defense, it seems to get worse when they play the Rams. Don't know why that is. It just seems like the Rams have the number of these Seattle Seahawks. I don't care if I think last year the Rams were able to beat the Seahawks. It was like they were bad last year, and they just kind of put that thing on them. Yeah, and I also think a big reason why the Rams lost that game against the Jets is because they were looking right past the Jets and right at the Seattle game. It's just I guarantee. I don't know if I want to put this as my lock of the week of the Rams over the Seahawks, but it feels like a game that I could put as my lock of the week, Rams over the Seahawks. I'm very confident. I wouldn't be stunned if the Seahawks won just because the Rams are a confusing team, but all the trends are pointing to the Rams. It just seems to be just a simple domination of the Rams over the Seahawks the last 6 games. So give me the Rams. I don't care if they just lost to they almost just lost to the football team. I don't care. They lost to the Giants and the football team. Rams cold swept the NFC East, I believe. Yeah, they did. So anyway, let's go Sunday Night Football. Another big game that's going to be tough to convince people. I'm probably one of the few and the Titans fans who are picking the Titans to win this game. Packers are 3-point favorites with an over-under of 55.5. I do have a shootout. I have a big old bloody bastard shootout in a 25-degree game in the freezing cold tundra. I think one of the biggest advantages the Titans do have while coming into this game is cold game. Derrick Henry, Packers have a kind of flawed rush defense this season. It's their Achilles heel. That's going to be the major dividends in this game. But the problem also is the Titans are the high scoring. They average like 30 plus a game, so they're like the highest scoring offense in the NFL. And that means if you take away Derrick Henry, they can and will pass against you. And the Packers are meh against the pass. Their defense is meh this year. It's not as bad as years past, but it's certainly not their strong suit. Now the Titans, they'll give up points. This will be a shootout, no doubt about it. I will guarantee that this is going to be 300 yards of offense from either quarterback, a couple hundred yards on the ground between the two guys. This is going to be a fun shootout type game. I think the biggest thing is I've seen the Packers struggle with big running backs, big physical runners. And the Titans also are very, very well coached. They're going to want this game very, very aggressively. I've seen something weird in the Packers in the last couple games of them where they've kind of looked checked out of halfway through the game. I don't know what's going on. They're like mailing it in. They're ghosting the second halves. Not really sure what that is, but it almost cost them against the Panthers, weirdly, and against the Lions. Like those two teams were in that game for far too long. So, again, give me the Titans in a very close game where Derrick Henry feels like he's going to be the difference maker. So, pretty good game though. This is a great game. I'm so glad it's Sunday night. All right, well, who cares, right? It's a COVID season. It doesn't, it's COVID. Records are meaningless. Buffalo, I do have one thing to say. If you're going to win the East, please go win the Super Bowl. Like, win the AFC. You have to at least go to the AFC Championship game. It's the AFC East Invitational. We have a free invite. Go there. You win the Super Bowl. Bring it back to the East so we can still shit talk about the supremacy of our division. Good luck, guys. But I do have you winning this weekend. All right. So hopefully we can improve on that record. Hopefully we get to 160, 79, and 1. Hopefully we can go 16-0. That'd be pretty dope. But yeah, so those are my picks. Let me know what you think down below. What are your picks? Just all that random stuff that we usually do down below. What are your thoughts on the season? Everything so far, picks, whatever. Just leave it down below. I'll be sure to get back to you as per usual. What else? Yeah, this is week 16. We got one more regular season picks video left. I thank you all for watching, subscribing, leaving likes, commenting. It's helped grow the channel greatly. We're up over 5,600 subs now. So we'll probably see 5,700. We'll probably see 6,000 by February, which would be cool. Yeah, thank you guys so much for helping grow the channel this year. We've got several streams left to do before the end of the year, several videos to do still, so stay tuned. I hope you've enjoyed it. More to come. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a happy holiday if I don't see you before the next time, or if you don't hear from me again till that time. So peace out. Go Patriots, go Lions, and of course, stay safe out there. Whoa. I don't know. Bye.